Welcome everyone to another interesting episode of SAM Podcast. Today we have with us Prachi Kaushik to inspire every young person out there and, most importantly, every youngster who wants to create a meaningful life. Her story is incredible. Imagine having all odds stacked against you, people discouraging you to chase your dreams, imposing their prejudices on you, but she fought the odds and established herself as an independent, self sufficient social entrepreneur. Hi, Prachi. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Dishani, and I'm glad to be here. और सैम पॉडकास्ट की सभी ऑडियंस को मेरा नमस्कार.
Before we start, I would like to tell our audience that Prachi is a TED Talk speaker and recipient of multiple awards. She is among the 75 women achievers to have received the Women Transforming India Award, an initiative of Niti Aayog, Government of India. So, Prachi, it's an extremely prestigious award, and I'm sure the selection process must have been, fairly rigorous. So, what was your entire experience like? I'm sure our audience would be like super interested to know this.
It was such a wonderful experience. This award was commenced by Niti Aayog, a think tank of Government of India. एंड पूरे भारत से ऐसी 75 महिलाओं को सिलेक्ट किया गया जो अपने ही फील्ड में अच्छा काम कर रही थी और समर्थ भारत और सशक्त भारत की थीम पर वो काम कर रही थी. तो बहुत सारे कैटेगरीज थे, साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, एग्रीकल्चर, सोशल इम्पैक्ट एंड एजुकेशन ऑल्सो. सो आई बीइंग सिलेक्टेड इन द सोशल इम्पैक्ट category, social impact category, and yes, the selection process was not easy, as we have gone through various jury rounds, wherein jury we had the big expert. We call these exemplary women expert, but there were the big experts who have vast experience in different fields, and they ask question about how it is making change in Sashakt Bharat and Samarth Bharat. So this was all the process, and when I got to know through email that you being a winner of this Women Transforming India Award 2021, so I really feel happy, and I thank God and my team and organization for such a big achievement.
It's really good to hear that. Now, talking about your work, you have been working on development projects, various development projects, and you founded Vyomini, an organization that works for women empowerment. So we want to know, how did this idea come up and how did you get into this field?
First of all, I never thought to be an entrepreneur. Okay. And I never, planned my life. Whatever comes in my way, I have taken it as a challenge and perceive it with my viveka and whatever knowledge I had. But one thing I must say, I was compassionate, kind, and hardworking, and taking everything positively. So if I say we founded Vyomini, Vyomini means which is divine, which has no limits. So it is being founded, it's a Sanskrit word, and the base of Vyomini, why Vyomini being formed was first is women health and entrepreneurship development. In 2016 we started, and before this I have worked with various government and non-government organizations. This helped me to understand ground dynamics. My last job was in the government sector, and it was very decent job. We were collaborating with various NGOs to execute government schemes which do not reach to the last miles, and there I have seen like so much funds is there, many good policies are there. So what is lacking is good executives. These policies not being executed at ground level, and therefore they are not reaching last miles. Everyone want their cut. So this really was painful when I saw everything, such situations in the ground. So this was the base that now I have to reach more people and increase my outreach and touch more lives. I founded Vyomini.
And women health hygiene is like the highlight of Biomini. So tell us something about that.
Some of the questions about hygiene, reproductive health not being answered. So whom to ask, we don't know. And we at school level, teacher do not answer such questions. And it is very important to educate kids at school level about health, hygiene, and reproductive health, especially. So they do not, end up having STI issues, RTI issues, and other reproductive health issues in totality. So sometimes you see some NGOs are, educating and creating awareness. But what about if they don't have product? So where they will go? And what about if they can't afford it? So we work on 3 A's approach, like we will educate you, we will help you to get access of the products, and we will make you that strong you can buy it. This COVID pandemic really taught us how important is hygiene. And in this difficult time also, we were able to maintain that productions to health and hygiene products. And we also supply Government of India many corporates where everything was shut down. Our women at ground were working, youth were working to manufacture such products.
We also know that you have a factory where you actually get these sanitary napkins, biodegradable sanitary napkins manufactured. And we happened to visit this factory and saw so many young people and young women, especially, working at it.
Yes, we have set up the factory, and after the thorough research, and I must mention that I being a humanities student, I have no knowledge of science, technology, and testing the products, and doing any, I have not done any MBA to set up this enterprise. So what I did is I collaborated with the scientist. We contacted various engineers, doctors to teach us if this is right or wrong. And I'm glad that I'm making such product which is good for environment, which is eco-friendly, which is low cost, and which really help women to maintain their menstrual health and hygiene.
As I'm talking to you, um, you know, menstruation being considered as a taboo in our society, I'm sure आपने काफ़ी सारे challenges and काफ़ी ऐसे लोगों को you must have met जो who have a very stereotypical attitude. So how did you deal with such people जिनका बहुत ही conservative mindset था?
Yes, when it comes to menstruation and the women health, during my research, I came across that India is only society which celebrate women in every form, whether she is menstruating or not menstruating, and we have that Kamakhya temple. So why such taboos and stigma are there? Because the lack of education. In the ancient time, if the woman is menstruating, so people were in the opinion that she should rest, rather she should work, because this will affect her menstrual cycle and her overall reproductive health. And the second factor is we don't have access of such products which help us to maintain hygiene. Either they are costly, or they are not accessible for low income group. And the third issue is environment issue. The products available in the market, they are based or made out of plastic. We are the only organization working on 360-degree approach. We not only making sanitary napkins, we making vending machines, incinerator, and we also teaching people how to do their waste management, because menstrual waste is such a big burden on this earth if it is not maintained wisely.
Because of this amazing work that you're doing, you've been rightly called as the real pad woman of India by Akshay Kumar.
We being called to different platform when the media highlighted this issue through a movie, and I met Akshay Kumar at IIT Delhi and explained the kind of work I'm doing. So since then it is started like she is the pad woman, real pad woman. And so yes, media really played a big role in starting the discussion at ground level. We as organizations, we as a social worker, we going to the field, but it's not easy to cover, the big area. And in India, we have 35% menstruating women, and so this media highlight really help us, and my work being covered by many magazines and interviews. So I have come across, yet I'm not the only one. There are the other also working, but I'm happy that we working for this sustainable sanitation.
That is great. Did you, as a woman, because you're into, you said you do not have any formal education, business education. So when you were in the field, were you taken seriously? Because women, I feel, always have to go an extra mile to prove themselves. Although you're doing it beautifully, but what were the challenges that sort of came your way?
आपने देखा ही होगा जब कोई बच्ची पैदा होती है तो जनरली पेरेंट्स के डिस्कशन क्या होते हैं कि इसकी शादी के लिए पैसे जोड़ना है, एंड स्टिल इट प्रिवेल्स. गवर्नमेंट लॉन्च सो मेनी कैंपेन्स, बट स्टिल पीपल, जब लड़का होता है तो वी से इंजीनियर बनाएंगे, डॉक्टर बनाएंगे, और जब लड़की पैदा होती है तो उसके लिए बोला जाता है कि इसकी शादी करने के लिए पैसे जोड़ने हैं. So this clearly means कि women don't have economic value, though they contribute a lot in a big way in economy, but they are not recognized. So now, if I say I never wanted to be a businesswoman, I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. So my circumstances were such a way that I started it, and I faced many challenges. Initially, when I used to ask people like I want to do work on this subject, so first reaction was ये भी कोई subject है बात करने के लिए, हमें बहुत सारे और भी काम हैं, so this is useless. And when I used to go in the villages, so it was very difficult to talk to villagers, pradhan, sarpanch. उनको ये लगता था कि इतनी कम एज में इनको क्या पता है, like she is a lost youngster, कि वो शायद इधर उधर भटक रही है, उसको कोई
rebel without a cause.
कोई काम नहीं है उनको. तो ये सब चैलेंजेस थे, और सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट था कि आप अपनी फैमिली को कन्विंस करो. एट एवरी लेवल यू हैव टू कन्विंस समवन. So this was really irritating and disturbing, but passion is passion. I was that much passionate, like I have faced everything, and my parents also were very rigid. Like when I thought to quit my government sector job, they said अब तुम्हारी शादी भी नहीं होगी, अब क्या करोगे तुम, अच्छा खासा काम है, लोग ऐसी नौकरियों को तरसते हैं, तुम छोड़ के पता नहीं क्या करोगी. So they were really rigid and criticizing me for almost 6 months. They were not in the, we had the hot conversations at home. So the whole 6 month passed like this. And when after the 6 month, I being selected for a Women Innovator Award. So they were the whole person were very happy. And my mother joined me, and they really apologized and seen that, we were wrong and she was right, and she has reached to that level.
Well, that's brilliant. We're also aware that, as part of its activity, Wyomini also engages with young people through its Campus Connect drive. So just tell us more about this drive.
Under this Campus Connect program, we engage students in internship, volunteership, and also provide jobs. So what they can learn how to develop entrepreneurship skills, and this help them in the further life, and then later on to, if they want to start something, how they can do it. They can make a business plan, they can present their idea to different platform, and we also link youth of various schemes and the programs which we come across. Like they can link themselves with the Stand Up India, Startup India, and that's Niti Aayog program for the entrepreneurs.
Well, that's great to hear. I would like to tell our young listeners that one of the core agendas of SAM is to help youth channelize their potential and motivate them for greater social cause. Young people today, they all have this dream of setting up startups. They have, big ideas, but there are times, we may have some big idea, but we don't know how to sort of execute it. So you being a successful social entrepreneur yourself, Do you have any uh, some experiences that you could share with our budding entrepreneurs out there?
Generally, you think that they will get some money, they will borrow from their father, their family, and then they start their business. No, it was not in my case. I belong to a very humble background, and even I have to earn for my education. So I had no money when I started this. I clearly say I had no money. And so, how I started, I wrote the paper and I mobilized the resources. I present it to the people who are already in the field. And mm, I have taken the loan from the government schemes, and this is how I started. And I was lucky, and I was that much ready that I was able to pay back my loan in a 3 months time. This is my, you can say, advice or my inputs for the budding entrepreneurs watching this podcast. First, you have to clear what you want to do. ऐसे ऑन्टरप्रेन्योरशिप स्टार्ट नहीं होती मेरे दोस्त ने कर लिया, वो यूनिकॉर्न बन गया, ओला वाले ने ये किया या किसी और ने ऐसा किया. So it should come from within. Like, this is the problem you want to solve, and it's okay if you want to do your job while doing your entrepreneurship, because you necessarily need not to be financial burden on anyone, because you will be a creator of the jobs, and your status will be different when you will be a successful entrepreneur. So my advice is, be passionate, be clear, and be realistic in your approach. Then nobody can stop you to be a successful entrepreneur.
Prachi, you've come a long way and you've achieved some major milestones in life. But I'm sure this journey would not have been all that easy, must not have been a cakewalk for sure.
It was not really. I have seen that the girls of my age, my classmate, they get married in the 10th, 11th, and I used to say, मैं ये तो नहीं करूँगी. Like, I have to further study. And I was an average child. I was not very studious child till my elementary level, and I studied in a government school. कि कभी उसमें बारिश हो गई तो छुट्टी हो गई, टेंट का कच्चा पक्का स्ट्रक्चर था, टीचर्स भी नहीं थे, ऐसे ही पास हो जाते थे. तो वो 8 तक वो चला. बट उसके बाद थोड़ा मैं पढ़ाई को लेके सीरियस हुई, और फिर मैं इतनी सीरियस हुई कि मैंने अपनी जो मेरे आसपास जो लड़कियां थी और क्लास में जो लोग थे, उनसे अच्छे मुझे मार्क्स भी मिलने लगे. And I secured a good marks in 12th standard, and then I thought to further take admission in the college. And my parents were like, जो तुम्हारे साथ लड़कियां पास हुई हैं वो तो नहीं जा रही हैं, and it's not safe to go college, and बाकी लोग क्या कहेंगे, हम इतना खर्चा नहीं उठा सकते हैं. So that was the call, like, if I want to study but my parents are not able to pay my fees, and that time college fees were like something 3,000 or 2,800, something like this.
For the entire year?
Yes, in the government college. So what I did is I started giving tuition to the nearby kids, and this helped me to earn something like 3,000, 4,000 and 5,000 also. So this is how I paid my fees, and this first earning really boost confidence in me. Like, I am responsible whatever I want to do. I can't help my parents, my situation, poverty, and bad things around me. Responsible for if something not good happening with me. If I have to study, I have to struggle, and one day I will be the achiever. And I remember my childhood was very tough. We were like hand to mouth, कि हमें ये नहीं पता होता था कि आज खाना मिला है तो सुबह मिला है तो शाम को मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा. That was the situation, and this was not this challenge I have taken it to without holding anyone responsible, because whatever we get in the past, it doesn't mean you will not have the brighter future. So maybe such circumstances were laid by God to I realize my potential, and I break this stereotype, and I become a women achiever. And I have seen, like, in society still that thought prevailing, like women do not have economic value. So that I really want to change, कि जब आपके घर में बेटी भी पैदा हो और बेटा भी हो, तो आपको आपको ये होना चाहिए कि जो आपका माइंडसेट है वो ये होना चाहिए कि शी इज़ नॉट अ बर्डन एट ऑल. She can earn, she can do whatever she want to do. So that I really want to change. And अभी बहुत हमें लंबी दूरी तय करनी अभी नहीं हुआ है. My parents start believing in me when I you know achieve this, when I receive the awards, when people outside recognize me, then my family recognize me. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, पहले फैमिली रिकग्नाइज करे, बिकॉज जितने भी वेमेन के साथ इश्यूज हैं, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हैं और भी 10 तरह की तमाम दिक्कतें हैं, तो वो घर के लोगों के साथ ही होती हैं. शी हैव टू फाइट from the family or n number of people in the office to make her space. So this was all about my childhood, and the life was never easy, and I'm still struggling.
In सब के बीच में, when you were having your low moments and dealing with mindset like this, what kept you motivated? I'm sure इतना आसान नहीं होगा to just tell yourself कि कि अच्छा, I'm not going to listen to them and ठीक है, I'm going to do my work. I'm sure you would need so many things to keep yourself motivated. So where did you draw your inspiration from?
The one thing really helped me in all difficult times, and whenever I used to feel low and disturbing and things were not working around me, so one thing really helped me is meditation. I do meditate, and meditation is one of the tool to repair my thoughts and evaluate myself. And कोई भी हो वो चाहेगा कि रात को वो सुकून की नींद सोए, कि पूरा दिन वो इतना काम करे, मेहनत करे, और रात को भी नींद ना आए तो फिर क्या ही हासिल किया. तो मेडिटेशन रियली हेल्प मी, और मैं अपने आप को संभाल पाई. और मेडिटेशन से ही मैंने सीखा कि ये जो युद्ध है ये अपने ही विरुद्ध है. तो पहले हमें अपने मन से लड़ाई करनी है, अपना विवेक थोड़ा जागृत करना है, और तभी हम अच्छे से डिसीजन ले पाएंगे. सो मेडिटेशन नॉट ओनली हेल्प मी इन वाइज डिसीजन मेकिंग, बट ऑल्सो हेल्प मी टू ऑर्गेनाइज माई सेल्फ. And you asked me my source of inspiration, that I really feel proud about it. That's my Gurudev, His Holiness Shri Ashutosh Maharaj Ji. He is my source of inspiration.
Prachi, there is so much, there is so much that, one can learn from your life, and it was absolute pleasure to, talk to you. Do you have any, a parting message for our young listeners out there?
The one thing out of my experience, I don't think I'm that big I can advise someone. What I can say to my fellow citizens and the people watching this podcast is be realistic, and actions speak louder than words. Let your action, let your work speak for you, and speak less and work more.
A heartfelt thank you for, talking to us today.
Totally, pleasure is mine, and I really wish good luck the complete team of SAM for such a podcast wherein I really feel happy to share my story and the kind of work we doing under Vyomni. Thank you so much.
Through this podcast, we have tried to capture an honest account of a woman who is, through her strong will and determination, built an ecosystem that is supportive, aimed at raising awareness on important social issues, and offering valuable lessons on how to be a change maker.